Hello my friends. So I welcome you to another beautiful session and I greet you in the love and the light of the one Creator. And in today's session, this is a beautiful session because in today's session, Metatron has given us information which pertains to three things in particular, The first one, which I had queried about is about the med-bed technology. Now, for those of you who do not know what is a med-bed technology or what they are saying it is a type of, technology which the extraterrestrials, they use to restore their bodies, right? To heal themselves, You will be shocked and surprised, that this is actually way deeper. Something is going on regarding this stuff, You will find out it's way deeper than what they are telling us right now. And this will open your eyes if you are willing to trust your heart, because always remember to trust your heart whenever you are listening to anything. You will be shocked that this is happening in our planet and they are trying to do this to our people, right? This is amazing, all right? The other thing they talk about, Metatron talks about, is how our, human consciousness is being hypnotized by the elites and how they do it, They also describe the process of how they are doing it. And they also describe, what kind of, strategies they are using. So in essence, this may also be considered as a type of wake-up call for people who are not aware that they are doing this, This is explained in detail as well. The other thing they talk about, which I really found fascinating, was about the concept of Earth being a school. And, Metatron talks about, what we need to learn in this Earth school, So this is really an interesting session, which I hope will assist you in understanding a greater perspective about your own self. And towards the end of the video, they talk about how pyramids, how we can use pyramids, pyramidal structures for reality creation. This is a brand new concept which I had never heard from any other source. So I hope you will enjoy the session. And before we start the session, it would be really good if you could like the video because it will help to spread out to more people who need it. With that being said, here is the session. Enjoy, my friends.
I am Metatron now, speaking through this channel, who has opened its communication to receive guidance from the angelic realm. I, along with many other angelic beings, have been looking after the progress of the Earth people. And we have noticed that there are many errors also occurring upon your planetary distortion. However, today, I am communicating via the divine love elements, divine love and light of the universal divine grid programmer. And I am now here, communicating for the purpose of answering the questions which are in the mind of this channel, who has allowed itself to be used as an instrument of communication. For everyone must remember to use extreme discernment and caution when listening to our thoughts and guidance, because our thoughts and guidance are only meant for those who have an open mind and heart to listen to our message and to judge our thought forms before accepting inside the mind, body and the spirit of your peoples. Furthermore, remember, the universal divine grid programmer lies dormant within each of you, waiting for the potential awakening of the divine grid programmer. And once the divine grid programmer has awakened fully to the knowledge of the reality upon which it finds itself in, there begins to shift a type of consciousness which will affect not only one single being on the planet, but the entire planetary vibration will begin to shift because of one light spark intermingling with the other light spark and creating a type of fusion and allowing the love and the divine grids of the universal light programmer to spread throughout the planetary vibration. As has been stated earlier, I, Metatron, along with other angelic beings, are providing guidance many a times. And there are moments in your planetary vibration wherein our guidance cannot be received by many of the beings upon your planets, because your people, and there are many people upon your planets who are trying to stop the guidance from us as well as guidance from other higher beings. These people have been put under a type of hypnotic spell as known by your people, wherein they only believe certain things to be true because of the mind programming which is done by the societal complex upon such beings of universal divine grid programmers, love and light. They are unable to fully make the choice and accept and be open to new information. This is happening because many people on your planet believe in some exterior forces which will act as a savior of humanity. Many are there upon the planetary sphere who believe that the planet will be saved by some other being other than their own self. The reason why this is occurring is because every single person on your planetary sphere had been subjected to such mind programmings, which was done in order to separate yourself from the universal divine grid programmer. As the universal divine grid programmer lies in dormant in potentiation to be activated at any moment, such beings who desire to choose the love and the light of the divine grid programmer can firstly remember and become aware of the type of mental programmings that has been done upon the current planetary life cycle. For I, as Metatron, can sense that your people have been hypnotized, as known by your people. This has been achieved by using the methods of keeping your people in the vibration of the red ray and not allowing your people to vibrate at a higher vibration. For these people are now trying to keep humanity in the vibration of fear, anger, and hatred. All of these emotions are part and parcel of the survival aspect of your beingness, of your bodily vehicle, and because of this connection between your survival aspect and the red ray, many people on the planet, because of their emotional nature, can only listen to certain information and they do not resonate with other type of information. There are many people upon the Earth planet who only resonate to information which pertains to the emotions of fear, anger, hatred, jealousy, etc. And most of these people, they try to find out such information which amplifies their emotional signature and also further allows such emotional signature to spread across the planetary vibration. For the basic process used by the so-called negative entities along with the elites is to firstly invoke a state of emotion such as fear and anger, and once entities begin to vibrate in that emotion, they will become susceptible to only that type of information which matches with the emotional signature of the vibration of fear or survival related aspect. This is also the reason why there are many people upon your planet who are already aware that your emotional signature determines the type of information you listen to. There may be many people on the planet Earth who do not resonate with certain information because their emotional signature is different than the emotion being conveyed with such information. For example, there are many divine grid programmers, divine love childs upon your planet who do not resonate with information of anger, hate, jealousy, and all other lower vibratory emotions, because their emotional signature is that of positive love and compassion. This is the reason why the people of your planet must awaken fully and realize what is happening upon your planet is but a type of vibrational hypnosis, as we can sense that many people have been hypnotized using the same methods in order to control humanity. However, now this information has been sent forth to your people, and based upon your free choice, you can recognize the true potential of your universal divine grid programmer's divine love element and the power of your unity consciousness, which lies dormant in potentiation to be activated. Furthermore, there is a query inside the mind of this entity which relates to the creation of med-bed technology as coined by your people. I, as Metatron, would like to suggest that this is a type of distraction mechanism which is working upon your planet, and we have already sensed that there are many beings upon your planet who are working for the negatively oriented entities to push such a technology. You must remember, for all healings occur from within the self, and there is no need for any exterior technology. The reason behind the creation of this technology, as we can sense right now, is because there are many beings upon your planet who are sick and who need assistance. However, there are people upon your planet who are working for their own benefit, for self-service, and they are trying to push the agenda that something outside of their own beingness will heal them. However, this is false, as we can tell you now. The matter is false in its nature that such a technology is required for healing to occur. For there is no technology required for all healings occur within the self. Therefore, the information which pertains to the technologies known as the medbed technologies, which are supposedly used by other dimensional beings, is false, as there is no technology beyond the spiritual self which can allow the true healing to occur. This is happening on your planets because many people do not yet understand that the universal divine grid programmer, the one father, mother, the creator, is the self. And once the unity consciousness of the merging with the divine grid programmer is attained, there is no need for any exterior agents or information for such healings to occur. For the process of healing requires the ability to be in a consciousness of already healed. Therefore, I, as Metatron, would like to state that your planets may be considered as a school wherein each being is here present to learn the lesson of beingness. For the lesson of beingness, of consciousness, is similar to what your people call as the law of assumption. However, there is a slight difference in that once you begin to be a certain type of entity, and once you begin to act as if you are already the one you want to be, there is a shift in consciousness. Your energy, your vibration, everything shifts to a different timeline. And your beingness will allow you to enter such a timeline if it is maintained. For this beingness is a combination of your thoughts, your emotions, your imagination, and your feelings. All of these combined together create your beingness of consciousness. And your beingness of consciousness, once activated, will pull itself towards the appropriate timeline in which such an entity is already being. This is the best way for people to understand that in your planetary vibration, currently, the essence of the universal divine grid programmers, the love child elements upon your planet are learning to be of love and compassion. For this is the lesson which lies dormant in potentiation for many, many love child elements of your planets. And there are those who have already become love and compassion of the fourth density of heart-centeredness. For this lesson is the most important lesson you are all here to learn. Even though sometimes the lessons may seem to not be this aspect, but this is the primary lesson you are all here to learn. Besides this lesson, all other lessons are secondary. Therefore, I as Metatron will now take the liberty to share with you the process which can be used to enter a new ability of beingness. And the ability of beingness is the ability of creating your thought forms, your feelings and emotions from a higher vibrational requirement. For this process, a type of pyramid, a small type of pyramid, can be used by your people along with your imagination. The pyramid must be kept at the crown of the head, and the imagination sequences can be used in such a manner to create anything that can be desired upon your planetary vibration. For the creation is simply to use the pyramid structures in your crown chakra and then to focus your attention inside your imagination of entering in a timeline or creation of a certain aspect which you desire. For the creation of such an aspect will allow the overflowing of consciousness to rapidly escalate and allow for greater and greater depths of consciousness. Because once you begin to become capable of using your imagination and the pyramidal structures in coordination during your meditation or your sleep state, you begin to enter into the timeline 10 times more faster than desired. Therefore, it is advised that only proper timelines be selected for the purpose. Can also lead to a creation of a timeline which may be undesired if the choice is not made properly. I am now going to share a story of a being upon your planet who used such a method to enter into a desired timeline, for this will allow you to greatly understand how it can be used. There was an entity upon your planet around the period of 1945 who was struggling in the sense of financial stability at that time space, and who was also struggling with other type of distortions. This entity used the knowledge of the pyramids which had been granted by an archangel to it during its dream state, in which it took a small pyramidal structure, placed it in its crown, and imagined itself being that which it wants to be. Using the creative factor of the imagination, it created wealth, health, abundance, and all the things desired, which appeared inside the timeline of this entity within the span of 65 days. For this process can not only attract what you desire, but give you the ability of graduation into the fourth density of the heart. For this process can also assist the people of your planets. However, this is not to be taken lightly, as the process can be very fast. Therefore, I as Metatron disconnect now in the love and the light of the universal divine grid programmer. Turn to the mountain of light within yourself. Bye.
Hello my friends, so I'll give you a brief explanation of the type of information I received during this session and what I have understood. So basically what Metatron has said in this session is about how human beings, we as human beings are susceptible to control, to mind control or to hypnosis or whatever they said in this session. Okay, basically what they said is we have an emotional state, emotional signature, and we only resonate with that level of information. For example, okay, if you are a very loving person, if you have a very loving personality, you will never resonate with information which provides you with fear, right? The same applies the other way. If you are in a fearful emotional state, this is what they said, you are more likely to look out for and resonate with information which has a same emotional signature of fear, of anger, whatever, okay? It may be the reason why people love to watch the news, are those people who are vibrating at the same level. Since they are vibrating at the level of, fear, emotional imbalance and stuff, what they are doing is they are resonating only with such type of information. And this is in essence used by the people in power, okay? Because they know this concept. They know this concept, okay? And they try to put us under a certain emotional state. I have seen this many times, okay? What they're trying to do is they're trying to give us information which arouses or which reduces our vibration. In essence, what they're trying to do is they're trying to put us into a lower vibrational state or an emotional state of fear, of survival, of, jealousy, anger, greed. There are so many emotions which you can describe, and anxiety, etc. Okay, and what they are doing is they're trying to feed us the same type of information. In essence, what they're doing is they are trying to put us in a box of the emotional signature, right? So this is what is happening, okay? Metatron said. Now the other thing that I found really interesting was about the Earth School, okay? The Earth School, in essence, what Metatron said is our planet may be considered as a place wherein we are here to learn the law of beingness. Metatron said the law of beingness. Now, what the law of beingness, as far as I understand, is whenever you are, for example, I'm sitting over here, and if I am aware of what I am being, okay, what my, state of consciousness is, there is a certain signature, I could feel it, okay, like I'm being something, all right? So what Metatron said is, in essence, we are all here to learn the law of beingness. And the law of beingness is simply, I think it is similar to the law of assumption, which is also a beautiful law, but, a little bit different, Metatron said, but I don't know in what way it is different. I believe that, the law of beingness, is working every day, all day, even while you are sleeping. So we are being, we are, displaying a certain signature of beingness, and that is happening in our lives, right? So, okay, so how do we use the law of beingness, okay, to enter into a higher dimension? What Metatron said is we can, use something which is known as, changing our emotions, changing our thought forms, and our feelings, which make the beingness aspect, okay? And then, when we be the one who is already in the fourth density of love and compassion, then, of course, we will enter into that timeline, right? So this is what is explained in this session. And I hope I was able to explain to you in a clear manner, because this is all I understand, okay, from this. I need to watch it again to get a clear understanding. Anyways, the other thing they talk about is med beds and spiritual healing. The thing about med beds, which I found really interesting was they said that med beds, they do not exist. So all the people, okay, on YouTube who are saying that med beds, they exist, so why don't you show us a live example of a med bed? Okay, I think all of these people, they are just making it up to distract humanity and making people believe in something outside of their own self. In essence, what they are doing, I believe, is they're trying to create a narrative of like, Doctor 2.0, okay? Now, nowadays, most people, they do not trust on, outside sources. Now they're trying to create something known as med beds. So people will, again, give their power away to an exterior source. They said it doesn't exist. So how are they making it? So I believe, this is all a made-up story to sell books, to sell you courses about med beds, to distract you. And that's all I can tell you, okay? This is happening in our community as well. People are here not to help humanity, but to help themselves, okay? The other thing I noticed is they said for spiritual healing, we do not need any exterior source, such as a medbed technology would be an exterior source. We do not need that. This is what they said. Now it is up to you to believe it or leave it, okay? It's up to you. But this is what Metatron said, that this is a distraction. They are trying to distract you from your true source, from your true unity, from your creative abilities, okay? Don't believe in something outside of your own self will heal you, okay? I don't believe that, someone outside can heal me, because all healing happens within me. And there are many, like people who are studying this stuff of, healing by using mind and consciousness power, and it does work. So I don't know what they are trying to do with the medbed narrative. I think they're trying to just make some money, right? I guess so. The other thing they are trying to talk about is about pyramids and imagination creation. So let me give you an example of, I have gotten one pyramid looking, this is actually a prism, but it can be considered as a pyramid. So I'm going to try this today, okay? So what this said is, if we take a pyramid and keep it in our crown, so crown would be over here, and then during the meditation, right, we bring the timeline we want to experience, and then we experience it. This will make it like so much faster, the manifestation of a certain timeline, and it can be used even for ascending into the fourth density. So this is a brand new type of information which I received today, and I genuinely hope that it will help people who want to achieve something. And they also shared a story about how this was used, okay, by a person on earth. It's amazing. So yeah, so this is all about today's session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I just want to say big thank you to all of you for supporting, for liking the videos, for subscribing to the channel, and also for supporting me on Patreon, where I am sharing content almost on a daily basis. And also thank you so much for sending out requests for past life channeling. I will help you out whenever I get free time. I have an email over here wherein you can send me an email, and I will help you out. So with that being said, see you in the next session, my friends. Have a wonderful time ahead.